In an era defined by silence and fear, one journalist dared to speak the most dangerous truth in America. She risked her life not to report the news, but to investigate the terror designed to oppress her people. She was a teacher, an orator, a suffragist, and a founder of modern civil rights activism. Her name was Ida B. Wells, and this is the story of the uncompromising Crusader who used her pen as a weapon to expose the American horror of lynching, forever changing the fight for justice. Ida Bell Wells was born enslaved in Holly Springs, Mississippi in 1862, just 6 months before the Emancipation Proclamation. Her parents, James and Lizzie, were politically active, instilling in young Ida the core values of education, religion, and the right to vote. The chaos of Reconstruction meant freedom was fragile, but the dream of equality was potent. Tragedy struck early. At age 16, both her parents and one of her siblings died in a yellow fever epidemic. Determined to keep her family intact, Ida stepped up. She lied about her age, secured a teaching certificate, and began working to support her younger siblings, a pattern of fierce self-reliance that defined her life. In 1884, while riding a train from Memphis, where she had moved for better teaching opportunities, Wells was ordered to move from the ladies' coach to the segregated car. She refused. When the conductor and 2 men tried to drag her out, she bit one of them. Instead of backing down, Wells sued the railroad company for violating her civil rights. She initially won the case, receiving a settlement. It was a stunning victory, a black woman successfully challenging a railroad in the South. Though the ruling was later overturned by the Tennessee Supreme Court, it was a crucial, defining moment. Ida B. Wells learned that the system could be fought, and she had the temperament to fight it. Disillusioned by the corruption and lack of true justice in the court system, Wells turned to journalism. She began writing columns under the pseudonym Eola, her incisive articles quickly gaining national attention in black newspapers. She soon became a part owner of the Memphis Free Speech and Headlight newspaper. This was where she truly found her calling. Her columns were fearless, exposing everything from segregated schools to the moral hypocrisy of white leaders. She was becoming a voice for the voiceless, but her true baptism by fire was yet to come. In 1892, her world fractured. 3 of her close friends, Tom Moss, Calvin McDowell, and Will Stewart, opened a successful grocery store near a white-owned store in Memphis. The white store owner instigated a mob, and the 3 men were dragged from jail and brutally lynched. This was not a sensational crime story. It was a personal attack on black economic success and dignity. For Wells, it shattered the lie that lynching was about protecting white womanhood or punishing crime. She saw it for what it was: economic and racial terrorism. From that moment, her focus shifted entirely. She would dedicate her life to exposing this American horror. Wells launched a radical, unprecedented investigative campaign. She began traveling across the South, often disguised or under assumed identities, collecting facts, names, and statistics related to every recorded lynching. She meticulously pored over court transcripts, death records, and newspaper accounts. Her findings were explosive. The vast majority of victims were not accused of sexual crimes against white women, as the public was told. They were killed for things like insulting a white person, business competition, or simply refusing to give up their land. Wells published her findings in a powerful editorial in the Memphis Free Speech, daring black people to leave the city in protest. Her words were a call to action and a direct challenge to the entire power structure of the South. Her editorial infuriated the white community. While she was away on a speaking tour in New York, a white mob descended upon the Memphis Free Speech office. They vandalized and destroyed the press, declaring that if Wells ever returned to Memphis, she would be lynched. Ida B. Wells was now an exile. She never returned to Memphis, but her voice only grew louder. She moved to New York and began writing and publishing her seminal work, A Red Record, 1895, a statistical and analytical look at lynching in America since the Emancipation Proclamation. The pamphlet was a devastating expose. It proved with unassailable data that lynching was a premeditated method of maintaining white supremacy through terror. She documented over 10,000 lynchings between the years of 1865 and 1894. Realizing that American media ignored her, Wells took her message overseas. She embarked on 2 speaking tours of Great Britain and Scotland, finding that the British public was horrified by her findings. This was strategic genius. Wells knew that international condemnation could put pressure on American politicians and institutions. Her international campaign was highly controversial, but it succeeded in framing lynching as a barbaric human rights issue, not just an American problem. In 1895, Wells married civil rights attorney Ferdinand L. Barnett and moved to Chicago. She balanced her work with raising 4 children, proving that activism and family could coexist. In Chicago, she remained a political powerhouse, continuing her investigative journalism. She also focused on direct action, working tirelessly to integrate local institutions and combat residential segregation. Wells was a passionate advocate for women's suffrage, but she was often met with racism from white suffragists, who feared alienating Southern supporters if they included black women. In 1913, during the massive woman suffrage procession in Washington, D.C., white organizers insisted black participants march in the back. Wells defiantly refused, waiting until the procession began and then joining the Illinois delegation near the front, walking alongside her white peers. She insisted that justice for women must include justice for all women. Wells was a founder of the NAACP, National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, in 1909. However, her radicalism and uncompromising demand for immediate action often put her at odds with more moderate leaders, including W.E.B. Du Bois. She preferred direct, grassroots action and later founded the Negro Fellowship League, focusing on providing shelter, jobs and support for migrating African Americans. Wells consistently believed that power was built from the ground up, not just in the boardroom. Wells passed away in 1931, but the legacy of her investigative work remains her most profound contribution. Her methodology, using irrefutable facts and statistics to expose systemic injustice, became the blueprint for future civil rights leaders, including Thurgood Marshall and Martin Luther King Jr. She defined the essential relationship between truth, publicity, and justice. She proved that the truth, no matter how dangerous, is the most powerful weapon against oppression. For decades, Ida B. Wells was often overlooked by history. Her radical truth-telling deemed too intense for the mainstream narrative. But in the 21st century, her pioneering work has finally been recognized. She was a woman ahead of her time, a force of nature who insisted that America live up to its constitutional promises. Her life is a powerful reminder that history is often changed not by those who are comfortable, but by those who are unbought and unafraid to speak truth to terror. The story of Ida B. Wells is the story of America's fight for its soul. If you were captivated by the life of this fearless journalist, please like this video and subscribe to Lives in Time. Your support helps us uncover more vital and untold biographies, from the founding of empires to the heroes of the civil rights era. Click the notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the figures who truly shaped the world.